Hey friends, Gary here. Welcome to today's video. Today I just want to share my thought about a very important topic, especially for beginner photographer or even experienced photographer who are currently having the same issue. So, the topic is, which one should you invest in? A cheap camera but with an expensive lens, or a cheap lens but with an expensive camera? Which combination will produce better result? Let's find out in today's video. If you are new here, hi, my name is Gary and I am a big fan of Micro Four Thirds camera system. I think they are just really nice. They fits my need perfectly because they are smaller, they are lighter. I do travel photography a lot and they can still produce good enough image quality while at the same time being a fun camera system. So in this video I will refer to all the gear in terms of Micro Four Thirds. But anyway, let's start with the first combination, which is cheap camera but with expensive lens. First of all, I want to clarify that the lens doesn't have to be ultra expensive, but it just needs to be a high quality one. And let me be straightly honest with you guys, this is my preference. I love higher quality lens and I don't mind using a cheaper camera. So let me explain a little bit about that. First of all, by having a higher quality lens, even though your camera is cheap or maybe a beginner camera, directly you will see two different things. First of all, you'll get better sharpness, better detail, better color, better everything in terms of image quality, because I think the lens is the soul of the image quality besides of the camera sensor. And nowadays beginner camera usually will already have a good enough sensor, something that can perform really well, something that has enough dynamic range and detail and also resolution. So that's not going to be a problem at all. And the other thing regarding having a high quality lens is that now when you invest on the lens, you'll be able to have some options when it comes to focal length. So you're not stuck with just the kit lens that can only do something moderately wide to a little bit of a mild telephoto, but you can go all the way to ultra telephoto or ultra wide angle or anything in between, or you can have it all in a form of maybe a good quality super zoom lens, something like that. Now I want to share to you an example of this particular combination. Over here I have a cheap beginner Micro Four Thirds camera, and that is the Panasonic Lumix GF9, or also known as the GX850. It's very affordable. It doesn't have a lot of features, to be honest with you guys, but it has a solid enough 16 megapixel sensor inside of it, Micro Four Thirds sensor once again. And I use this camera with lots of different kinds of high quality, expensive lenses. First of all, right here, I have the Panasonic Lumix 35 to 100mm f2.8. I will show some sample pictures taken using this exact combination right now, the kind of quality that you will get out of this combination. This lens is really excellent as a telephoto lens for distant landscape, for a little bit of portrait as well. I think the combo performed really well. And the GF9 at the same time was able to produce good enough dynamic range. It has enough resolution, sharpness, detail, and just overall image quality. I just love this combo so much. And then I've used the GF9 also with lenses like the Olympus 75mm f1.8, another pro grade lens that I love so much, especially for portrait and also a little bit of distant landscape. The kind of images that you can take with this combo is just awesome in my opinion. And then also I used the GF9 with the Panasonic Leica 9mm f1.7 on my recent trip to Iceland. This is another high quality Panasonic Leica lens, an ultra wide angle one, and I've captured so many different kinds of landscape photos with this guy together, and also some northern light picture with the Panasonic Leica 9mm f1.7 with the GF9. So yeah, cheap camera and expensive lens, no problem at all. One more combination, also the Panasonic Leica 25mm f1.4 together with the GF9. The Panasonic Leica is a new addition to my collection, so I don't have a lot of sample pictures going on right now, but let me show some that I have captured again using this exact combination, Panasonic Leica and the GF9, a cheap camera with an expensive lens, and I really enjoy the result. I don't think the GF9 is a bottleneck, and I think it is more than enough to accommodate for the high image quality of the Panasonic Leica lenses. Okay, Gary, image quality, got it. You will get an increase in terms of sharpness, detail, contrast, colors, and also ability to cover different kinds of focal lengths. Great, it seems like the combination of cheap camera and expensive lens is a wise one. But what's the catch? I'm glad you asked that, because there's a catch with this particular combination. With the cheap camera, although you can still get great image quality, the problem is not the image quality, but the shooting experience. Usually with cheaper camera, beginner camera, some things will suffer. You won't get features that are usually found on higher end cameras. First of all, for example, with my GF9, there's no dedicated grip. I don't mind that because I like my cameras to be small, nimble, compact, and lightweight. But for some people, especially with bigger hands, I think this can be a problem. Manual control, not exactly great. You only have a couple of custom function button and only one control wheel. So when you are shooting in full manual, you have to be okay with going into the menu or pressing on the screen or things like that. But yeah, if your priority is image quality, then definitely cheap camera with expensive lens. Now let's talk about using cheap lenses with expensive cameras. Over here I have two examples. One is the GX85 and one is the G85. Both are my more premium cameras, and both of them have the kit lens that comes with my Panasonic Lumix cameras, the Panasonic Lumix 12 to 32mm f3.5 to f5.6. Straight away, I will say that the image quality won't suffer at all, because the kit lens 12 to 32mm is actually quite a respectable kit lens. It can produce good enough result. But however, there are some things that you need to know when you are using kit lens like the 12 to 32mm. First of all, even though the focal length range is great, 12 is moderate wide angle and 32 is mild telephoto, that's about it. You don't have any options to go longer or to go wider, things like that. Second of all, aperture. It doesn't have large aperture like my more premium lenses, which usually will have at least f2.8 or even larger like f1.7 or even f1.4. With smaller aperture of the kit lens, the thing is you won't easily get enough background blur if you want that glorious amounts of blur, and also low light performance won't be that easy. So yeah, some things to keep in mind when you are using cheap lens like the kit lens. However, with these more premium cameras, you will have more features that will make the shooting experience more enjoyable, and also some things that are just making photography more convenient. First of all, with both my GX85 and G85, they both have in-body image stabilizer, so that if you are using a kit lens like this with smaller aperture, at least in lower light situation, when you are not shooting a moving subject, you can set the shutter speed slower and you can still get a blur-free image. I mean, your hands may shake a little bit, but the image will still look relatively sharp. That's one thing. And then both of these cameras have great handling for sure, with the generous amount of grip on the G85 and this thumb rest of the GX85. Also, manual control with both of these guys are excellent. You have plenty of buttons and dials, control wheels to change the aperture, to change the shutter speed, dedicated ISO buttons, stuff like that, making photography shooting experience more enjoyable, more convenient, and also quicker as well. Bottom line, choose this exact combination, cheap lens with expensive camera, if you value the experience of taking picture more than the image quality itself. So let me summarize this video. I think for me personally, a cheap camera with expensive lens is the way to go, especially if you just started photography. With more premium lenses, again, you will get two things. First of all, different options of focal lengths, so you can start to see the world differently with different perspectives, of course, with different focal lengths. And then also most of these premium lenses will offer larger aperture, so you get better background blur as well as better low light performance. So I think that's where people should start. Now, if you already have the high quality lenses that you need for your photography, next logical step, of course, is to upgrade the camera with something that has enough features to make your shooting experience more convenient, more enjoyable. Of course, what would be ideal will be a high quality premium camera with a high quality premium lens. But in this economy, I think that's kind of difficult, so you will need to prioritize first. And again, I think it's wise for you to start with great quality lens and then slowly upgrading your camera once you have the lens covered. Anyway, speaking about economy, this video is not sponsored by anyone, but I will just promote a little bit of my work so that maybe you guys can help me a little bit. First of all, I want to share to you my travel photography video course called Simplifying Travel Photography. It's about 1 hour and 40 minutes long. I shared all my tips and tricks, all my knowledge, my expertise about travel photography after doing it for more than 10 years. This video was shot mostly in Iceland and also a little bit from my studio here in Indonesia, and you will be able to see some composition guide, gear guide, my philosophy behind travel photography, things like that. I will provide the link right here if you want to purchase it one time. You can also become a member of my Patreon to get a full access to Simplifying Travel Photography video course. And for a limited time, I will bundle the video course together with my ebook, which is also called Simplifying Travel Photography. So I think this is a really great deal. Again, visit that link. You can either become my paid supporter in Patreon or just purchase it one time and you also get the ebook at the same time. Anyway, enough about me. What about you? Which one will you invest first? High quality lens or high quality camera? Please let me know on the comment down below. Let's have a little bit of a discussion. I always love to hear and learn from you. But anyway, that's it for today's video. Hopefully this has been interesting, entertaining, fun, inspiring as well. And don't forget to support my channel by liking this video, sharing this video, subscribing to my channel down below. Again, I also want to invite you guys to become a paid supporter of my Patreon with the link right here. Use the affiliate links down below and maybe use the super thanks button to make a small donation to my channel. Thank you very much and I will see you on the next video. Goodbye.